You want to learn Vedic astrology. You generate your birth chart, and suddenly you are staring at squares, diamonds, numbers, and planetary abbreviations. Then you search online and discover something even more confusing. One astrologer is using a diamond-shaped chart, while another is using a square grid. They both call it a Vedic birth chart, but they look completely different. Which chart should you learn first? If you are a complete beginner and do not know where to start, this is my recommendation. Beginners, use this one, the South Indian birth chart. In this lesson, I will show you what the South Indian chart is and why my students, as beginners, find it easier to organize and read. Welcome to the astrology classroom, where learning Vedic astrology is visual, practical, and beginner-friendly. No confusion, no lengthy talks, and certainly no unnecessary jargon. If you are ready, let's begin. Are the North and South Indian charts different Vedic astrology systems? First, let us clear up the most important misunderstanding. The North Indian and South Indian birth charts are not two different types of Vedic astrology. They contain exactly the same information, the same ascendant, the same 12 zodiac signs, the same 12 houses, the same planetary placements, the same aspects, and the same planetary time cycles. One chart is not more accurate than the other. They simply arrange the same information differently. Think of them as two maps of the same place. The destination has not changed, only the way the map is drawn. So what are the main difference? Here is the easiest way to remember the difference. In the North Indian chart, the houses remain fixed. It is diamond-shaped. The first house is always located in the same position at the top, but the signs occupying the houses change according to the ascendant. In the South Indian chart, the zodiac signs remain fixed. It uses a square grid. The 12 zodiac signs always remain in the same boxes, while the houses move according to the ascendant. For beginners who are still learning signs, houses, and planetary placements, I find that the fixed sign layout of the South Indian chart provides a much clearer starting point. Let me tell you the reasons why. Reason 1. The layout is familiar to most of us. The first reason is very simple. The South Indian chart looks like a grid. Most of us are already familiar with grids, tables, calendars, spreadsheets, classroom worksheets, and even board games. We have been trained from a young age to understand that each box contains a particular category of information and that the boxes follow an organized sequence. We also automatically move around the grids in a clockwise manner. This familiar structure reduces the amount of visual decoding and house counting a beginner has to do. The rectangular compartments also make the chart easier to use as a working document. You can color code signs, mark the ascendant, number the houses, write planetary strengths, and draw aspect arrows directly across the chart. Information that might otherwise feel like a collection of disconnected rules becomes organized into a visible pattern. For a beginner, this is important. The easier the chart is to organize visually, the more mental space you have available for the actual work of interpretation. Reason 2. It visually represents the zodiac belt in the sky. The South Indian chart gives a more direct visual representation of the zodiac belt around the earth. The zodiac belt is an imaginary band that stretches across the sky, encircling the earth for the purpose of measuring the positions of celestial bodies. It is not a physical structure, but rather a conceptual framework used in all schools of astrology. This belt is divided into 12 equal sections, with each section representing one of the 12 zodiac signs. Each sign spans 30 degrees, creating a full circle of 360 degrees. This division allows all astrologers to map the movements of the celestial bodies and make predictions based on where they fall within these 12 signs. The 12 zodiac signs represent a specific 30-degree segment of the zodiac belt's 360-degree circle around Earth. The South Indian chart preserves this zodiacal sequence in fixed positions. Aries always occupies the same compartment, followed clockwise by Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and the remaining signs. Together, the 12 boxes represent the 12 consecutive 30-degree sections of the zodiac. Both North and South Indian charts contain the same astronomical positions. However, the South Indian format displays the zodiac more directly because its 12 fixed compartments preserve the continuous sequence of 12 30-degree signs. Once you understand this fixed zodiacal framework, it becomes easier to locate signs, recognize opposite signs, follow planetary movement, and understand how the ascendant determines the houses without changing the underlying zodiac. Reason 3. It follows the natural pattern of a cosmic blueprint. The South Indian chart reflects an important principle of astrology. The zodiac signs form a cosmic or universal blueprint, while the houses personalize that blueprint for each person. The 12 signs always remain in the same natural sequence. Each sign represents a particular quality of energy. Aries initiates, Taurus stabilizes, Gemini connects and communicates, Cancer protects and nurtures, Leo expresses and creates, Virgo analyses and improves. The sequence continues through the remaining signs until Pisces completes the zodiac. These sign qualities do not change from one birth chart to another. Taurus does not stop being fixed and stable because it is the third house of one person, and Scorpio does not lose its depth and intensity because it is the seventh house of relationship for another person. The qualities of a planet can also be easily analyzed using the qualities of the sign it is placed. For instance, Sun gets exalted in Aries and debilitated in the opposite sign of Libra. The South Indian chart makes this relationship visually clear. The signs remain fixed as the underlying blueprint, while the house numbers change from chart to chart, making it personal during interpretation. You can think of the zodiac signs as 12 permanent types of space and energy, and the houses changes with each placement. The birth chart shows which type of energy has been assigned to manage each life area for that particular person. This helps beginners understand that a birth chart is not created by moving the zodiac signs around. It is created by placing the individual's houses and planets within an existing zodiacal framework. The blueprint is universal, but the way it is organized around the individual is personal. Reason 4. Aspects, opposite signs and houses are easy to see. The South Indian layout also makes oppositions visually clear. For example, Aries is opposite Libra, Taurus is opposite Scorpio, Gemini is opposite Sagittarius, Cancer is the opposite of Capricorn, and so on. This also applies to houses. When Taurus becomes the ascendant, Scorpio automatically becomes the seventh house of relationships. You can see the first to seventh house axis directly across the chart. The same applies to other important axes such as self and partnership, home and career, personal resources and shared resources, knowledge and wisdom, and so on. This makes it easier to understand how different areas of life interact and what needs to be balanced. It is also easy to count houses and see aspects visually. Mars has a 4th, 7th, and 8th aspect. Here you can easily count the grids and place the aspect arrows and clearly see the houses and planets being aspected. It makes seeing connections easy and allows you more time to focus on reading the chart instead of checking every few minutes. Reason 5. It is easier to annotate while learning. When I teach a beginner to prepare a chart for analysis, I recommend doing pre-check work that prepares a chart for reading. This offers structure and focus so you can straight away get the details you need to analyze different subject matters. The South Indian grid gives us room to do all of this systematically and clearly. Instead of trying to hold every rule in your head, you can place the information directly onto the chart. That reduces overwhelm and helps you follow a repeatable process so that you do not freeze or forget everything you have learned the moment you open a new chart. Now, this does not mean that the North Indian chart is wrong or difficult for everyone. Many excellent astrologers use the North Indian chart because that is the format in which they were trained or holds value for them. Ultimately, the easiest chart is usually the one you practice with consistently. But if you are a complete beginner who is still learning to put together all the different components of astrology, the South Indian chart provides a cleaner and more structured and familiar working surface. Ultimately, it is a picture that speaks more than words. We are all visual learners first. My advice is, do not try to master both chart styles at the same time. Choose one format, learn its structure properly, and use it consistently until reading it becomes automatic. Here is some practice for you. Download your natal chart in both the South and North Indian style from any good Vedic astrology website. Number the houses accordingly and draw the aspect arrows for both the charts. Look at each planet and house placements and try to connect them with the zodiacs behind them. How does each one feel for you? Choose the one that feels easier to work with and stick to it. If you would like to learn Vedic astrology through a clear, visual, and step-by-step framework, you can explore my complete beginner course, Applied Vedic Astrology for Beginners, using the link in the description below. The course includes preloaded explainer lessons just like the one you just watched, practical components, reference charts, and worked examples to help you move beyond theory and memorizing and to begin applying what you learn immediately. Subscribe to the Astrology Classroom for more visual, practical, and beginner-friendly Vedic astrology lessons. And tell me in the comments, which chart do you currently use, the North Indian chart or the South Indian chart, and which one feels easier for you to understand? See you in the next lesson.